Madeleine Westerhout was the president's executive assistant and director of Oval Office operations. Although she was asked to resign,
President Trump's personal assistant at his side since day one of his administration has been forced to resign.
Madeleine Westerhout was one of the closest people to President Trump during his first term. She was more than just a staff member. She arranged his meetings, managed his messages, and overheard conversations almost no one else in the White House could. For years, she stayed out of the spotlight after a scandal ended her White House career. But now, in a dramatic courtroom appearance, she is finally speaking out about what happened during Trump's first term. So, what made her break her silence? And how much trouble could her words cause for the man she once served so loyally? To answer that, we first have to go back to the beginning. How did she reach Trump's inner circle? Madeleine Westerhout, born and raised in Newport Beach, California, had one clear goal she wanted to achieve: to get to Washington, D.C., and immerse herself in the center of American politics. She left her home state to attend the College of Charleston in South Carolina, where she earned a degree in political science in 2013. Her political apprenticeship began early. She began working as the campaign manager for Mitt Romney's 2012 presidential campaign. And then, the following year, she started working for a Republican candidate. Her dedication and effectiveness caught the eye of Congressman John Campbell, a figure with influence in the Republican National Committee. Impressed by her work, he recommended her for positions within the RNC and its organizing committee. By 2015, she became the assistant of the RNC's chief of staff, Katie Walsh. Her work efficiency and behind-the-scenes influence made her a trusted figure there. Through introductions and her proven performance, she landed the role she had always wanted: Special Assistant to President Donald Trump. On January 20, 2017, when Trump took office, she joined the West Wing. To outsiders, hiring someone so young for such a position was unusual, even risky. But Trump was unmoved by critics. He wanted her in the White House and thus began a working relationship that would put her closer to the president than almost anyone else. Inside the White House. As a special assistant to President Trump, her influence grew quickly. She managed his emails, checked his tweets, and stayed within earshot of key conversations. Whether they were political negotiations or private chats, she was present. Her access was unparalleled. The president often referred to her as "my beauty," a public signal of their close working relationship. The relationship between Trump and Westerhout drew attention. She prepared speeches, coordinated schedules, and ensured operations in the Oval Office ran smoothly. She became both gatekeeper and confidant for the president. Soon enough, the rumors about the nature of their relationship swirled, but she skillfully kept speculation from overtaking her professional image. Her job extended far beyond the administrative tasks. In February 2019, Trump promoted her to become the director of Oval Office operations. This gave her even greater access to the president and influence over the workings of the West Wing. But with that influence came scrutiny. The media wanted her secrets, but she stuck to her job. She avoided the spotlight and rejected attempts to lure her into the gossip. She neither sought headlines nor built a personal brand, focusing solely on serving the president. Being this close to the president, she became a target. Critics started to question whether she was qualified for the job, and even about the true nature of her relationship with President Trump. Still, she remained focused on her job until one evening in August 2019, when an off-the-record conversation turned into the biggest mistake of her career. The night that changed everything. In August 2019, Westerhout attended a dinner with Deputy White House Press Secretary Hogan Gidley. There, she drank a bit too much and began saying things that no one knew about. She allegedly claimed that she was closer to Trump than his children and suggested he couldn't pick his daughter Tiffany out of a crowd. Worse than that, she reportedly told guests Trump avoided being photographed with Tiffany because she was fat. She believed the conversation was private, off the record, but it wasn't. The details made their way back to the president, igniting a firestorm. It became a national headline. For a figure already subject to intense political fire, the personal nature of the comments was even more explosive. The fallout was immediate after this news, and within days she was out of the White House. Trump, while expressing personal forgiveness, made it clear she could not return. She signed a non-disclosure agreement and withdrew from public life. One moment, she was orchestrating the president's schedule. The next, she was locked out of the building she had helped manage. But while she left Washington physically, she never stopped watching. And as she observed from the sidelines, something kept building inside her. Watching from the sidelines. From 2019 onward, Westerhout stayed quiet, declining interviews and avoiding political drama. But she paid close attention. She watched as Trump's presidency faced controversy after controversy, from renewed questions about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein to the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago in 2021 over classified documents. Even though she was physically removed from her job, her friends inside would give her bits of information from the White House. She recognized speech patterns and communication styles she had helped craft, now being used by others. But she didn't take revenge. In politics, she knew timing was everything. She would only step forward if the moment demanded it, and that moment came in 2024. Trump's hush money case. It was on April 14, 2024, when Donald Trump appeared in court over allegations related to a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Prosecutors claimed his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, made the payment and disguised it as legal fees. Westerhout wanted to stay out of the matter, but seeing Trump on the trial brought back old wounds, and as the case progressed, her name surfaced. She knew details about the inner workings of Trump's daily operations, which meant she would be invaluable in this case. Though she had spent years avoiding political entanglements, the hush money proceedings drew her attention. She had seen how Trump handled incoming mail, how checks were signed, and how financial documents were routed. And she knew these small details could matter in court. With the details of the case becoming public, she had two choices. She could stay silent and let others define the narrative, or she could step into the courtroom and tell her version of events. For the first time since 2019, she chose the latter. Breaking her silence in court. After being called as a witness in 2024, Westerhout described an unusual mail handling process. While living in the White House, Trump still received his mail and checks at Trump Tower in New York. Instead of changing his address, the mail went to his bodyguard, Keith Schiller, who then passed it to her, and she delivered it to Trump. This mail delivery system raised more suspicions for the prosecutors, who saw potential attempts to obscure financial documents. She even told the court that Trump would often sign checks without reviewing them. On its own, this seemed minor, but prosecutors argued it could explain how certain payments slipped through without scrutiny. This time, she spoke without hesitation, no longer the silent aide protecting her position, aware of the weight her words might carry. Westerhout's testimony added another thread to an already complex case. Her words didn't just deliver a knockout blow, but they added weight to the prosecution's case and gave the public a rare insider view of Trump's daily operations. While her statements alone might not determine Trump's legal fate, they provided prosecutors with insider confirmation of unusual practices. Politically, her return sparked a new debate. Some saw her as a cautionary tale, once the president's most trusted aide now returning for revenge, while others see her voice as necessary, offering transparency about a presidency often shielded from public view. Her courtroom appearance could signal either a return to political life or a slide back into isolation. How allies and critics respond will decide whether she can redefine her public image or remain bound to her past mistakes. Madeleine Westerhout's journey from a trusted gatekeeper to courtroom witness is a reminder of how quickly alliances in politics can shift. Was her testimony an act of revenge, or did she just want to tell the truth to the American nation? What do you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like this video and consider subscribing. Also, turn on the notifications bell. Until next one, take care and stay safe.